The labels are louder than the devices now. Pro Max, Ultra. They're printed on boxes, repeated by sales staff, and baked into how options appear on the screen. You're not asked what you do with your phone. You're asked how much of a person you want to be. I'll admit something simple. I once walked out with a Pro Max that barely fit in my pocket and felt like a brick by afternoon. It did everything it promised. It also made me wonder why I paid extra for features I never reached for. That moment made something clear. The labels weren't describing my needs. They were steering me past them. This didn't start with phones. Consumer electronics have always used naming to imply hierarchy and status, long before apps and touchscreens entered the picture. Deluxe, Executive, Platinum. On old VCRs, Deluxe often meant a shinier faceplate and one extra button no one pressed. The device still played the tape the same way. The upgrade existed mostly to separate buyers, not improve daily use. What's changed is how aggressively these labels are positioned as identity markers. Pro doesn't just mean better hardware anymore. It suggests seriousness and competence, a person who knows what they're doing. Max suggests abundance and fewer compromises by default. Ultra steps in when even that isn't enough and says, quietly, this one is for people who don't ask about price. The problem isn't that the devices are bad. They aren't. The problem is that the names blur what actually changes between tiers. On phones and laptops sold in the US right now, Pro usually means two things: a better camera system and a better display, more lenses, better low-light performance, higher refresh rates. If you rely on those, the upgrade is real. If you don't, it's mostly invisible. Max is almost always about size. Larger screen, larger battery, heavier device. The internals are often the same as the Pro. You're paying for surface area and endurance more than new capability. For some people, that's practical. For others, it's a daily inconvenience disguised as an upgrade. Ultra is where clarity disappears. Ultra usually bundles everything available, adds a material change or two, and suggests necessity without explaining purpose. Sales environments don't help. Devices are lined up with the most expensive ones centered and lit best. The entry model sits off to the side, framed as a compromise before you've even touched it. The pressure is subtle but consistent. What gets lost is the basic question: what do you actually use the device for? Messages, banking, maps, photos of receipts, the occasional video. None of those tasks improve dramatically between tiers. They just cost more over time. So the stakes aren't about keeping up or missing out. They're about walking out with something that works cleanly, lasts, and doesn't turn into a daily reminder that you bought past your own habits. Strip the labels down, and what's left is just a tool. By the time you're standing in front of the options, the labels have already done their work. Pro Max, Ultra, they sound like categories of people, not hardware, and that's why it helps to pause and translate them back into plain English before your hand. Reaches for the more expensive box. Start with Pro. On phones, Pro usually means two things, and only two things that most people will ever notice: a better camera system and a better screen, more lenses, better low-light performance, sometimes smoother scrolling because of a higher refresh rate. On laptops, Pro can also mean more graphics power and faster chips, which matters if you're editing video or doing heavy photo work. If you don't take pictures in dim light, zoom in often, or spend hours staring at the screen, most of those upgrades fade into the background pretty quickly. This is where the mismatch happens. Pro sounds like capability. What it often delivers is polish, real, measurable polish, but only if your habits actually touch it. Otherwise, you've paid extra for something rarely activated, which is why so many Pro owners end up saying, It's nice, and stopping there. Max is easier to decode. Max almost always means size, bigger screen, bigger battery, heavier body. The internals are often the same as the Pro. You're not buying new functions, you're buying more surface, area, and longer endurance. For some people, that's genuinely useful. Bigger text without squinting, more room for maps or spreadsheets, fewer trips to the charger. For others, it's a daily negotiation with pockets, hands, and gravity. The device works well, it just works on your nerves. Max is the upgrade that reveals itself every day, not in features but in friction. You either appreciate the extra room or you notice the weight every time you pick it up. There's very little middle ground. Then there's Ultra. Ultra is where language gets ambitious. Ultra usually means everything the company knows how to include, plus one or two material changes that sound important but don't always translate into daily use. Stronger casing, extra sensors, extreme performance, headroom you may never touch. Ultra doesn't explain who it's for. It implies that if you don't choose it, you're settling. That implication does a lot of work. In practice, Ultra is spec surplus with a confident tone. It's built for edge cases and marketed to everyone else. If you don't already know why you need it, you probably don't. Sales environments amplify all of this. The most expensive model is centered, brightest, and most handled. The base version sits off to the side like an apology. No one says you're making the wrong choice, but the lighting does. The price difference is framed as reasonable, especially when spread over months, which is how gloss sneaks in disguised as logic. So the decision filter has to be blunt. 3 questions usually settle it. Do you actually need better low-light photos, or do you mostly take pictures in decent light? Do your hands and eyes genuinely benefit from a bigger screen, or does it just sound nice in theory? And are you editing video or large photos regularly? Or are you banking, messaging, mapping, and snapping receipts? If you answer no to all 3, by the time you reach the checkout screen, most of the work has already been done for you. Not by the device, but by the labels. Pro, Max, Ultra don't describe tools anymore. They describe intent, quietly asking who you think you are while holding a credit card. That pressure feels new, but it isn't. What's new is how cleanly it's delivered. This is where it helps to pause and reframe. The world didn't suddenly get more demanding. The language just got smoother, more confident, and better at removing friction from hesitation. We've lived through enough version jumps to recognize the pattern. Dial-up promised speed, T9 promised efficiency, GPS promised certainty, then calmly said, recalculating, while you passed cornfields, the labels changed. The work underneath never changed nearly as much as advertised at the time. Once you see Pro, Max, and Ultra as sorting tools for pricing instead of judgments about capability, the noise drops. Pro isn't a credential, it's a bundle. Max isn't ambition, it's dimensions and battery size. Ultra isn't destiny, it's surplus with confidence. None of that is a problem on its own. The problem shows up when the label starts answering questions you never asked. That's how people end up paying for features they respect in theory, but never touch in practice, then wondering why the excitement fades so quickly. This is why the decision works best when it's blunt, not clever or optimized. Do you actually need better low-light photos, or do most pictures happen in ordinary rooms and daylight? Do your eyes or hands truly benefit from a larger screen, or not? And are you editing video or large photos regularly, or mostly checking balances, sending messages, following maps, and scanning receipts? 3 questions, no scoring, no judgment. Just a filter that removes the drama and replaces it with something calmer and easier to live with. If you've overbought before, that isn't a failure, it's tuition. Everyone pays it at some point. The useful move is noticing when you're buying relief instead of utility. Relief is expensive and short-lived. Utility stays helpful long after the box is gone. Sales floors and online comparisons are designed to make the jump feel small. Monthly numbers soften totals. Centered displays draw hands. The brightest screen reads as confidence. That doesn't make you gullible. It makes you human in a system built to be persuasive. The quiet win is walking out calm, not triumphant, not defensive, just settled. The right device disappears into your routines. It doesn't ask to be justified. It fits your eyes, your hands, and the work you actually do without commentary. That's the update worth keeping. You don't need to chase every trend or reject them on principle. You can walk beside them, notice what they offer, and choose deliberately. The labels don't go away, but their power does. You're still learning. See you in the next move.